WION's principal diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Sibbal spoke to Polish Member of Parliament Władysław Bartoszewki as he was in New Delhi to observe G20 foreign ministers meeting. Bartoszewki lauded India's diplomatic prowess on the international stage as well as its ability to be a de-escalating factor in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Watch.
My first question to you is that your country is one of the frontline state which has been impacted by the Russia-Ukraine conflict. How do you see this conflict impacting your country?
Well, first of all, when the war started, when the Russian invasion started, masses of refugees came across the border. And what happened, which was somewhat which nobody expected. Firstly, we do not have a single refugee camp. Everybody was accommodated in first at people's houses, then and regional authorities helped, and the government helped. And altogether, 9 million Ukrainians crossed the border. At the moment, some of them went back, some of them went elsewhere. At the moment, we've got about 2.5 million Ukrainians, and we gave them work permits, we gave them health insurance, we got them schooling for the children. We accepted them, and they work, and so there was a big impact because whole country moved to help, and that was a kind of gesture of solidarity with these refugees, which we understood what it meant, the war refugees. And then we said we have to deal with the politics, and we started talking to other nations saying, well, you have to mobilize and stop this aggression. And then, of course, we decided to help them militarily. All in all, Poland is number 3 in terms of military supplies to Ukraine.
We also saw an unfortunate incident around the G20 summit time last year when a missile fell into your territory. So do you fear a spillover?
Well, our thinking is very clear. If Ukraine is taken over by the Russian Federation, the next country will be either Lithuania or Poland. And we would rather avoid that fate. And the only way we can avoid it, and let's not forget that according to what the Americans said, President Biden said in Warsaw a couple of weeks ago, said if an inch of NATO territory is invaded, we will use Article 5. And that means NATO will wage war with the Russian Federation. Nobody wants that fate.
My last question to you is, how do you see India's role when it comes to the ongoing conflict? Because India has good relationship with Russia and it has been in touch with Ukrainians.
India has an important role to play because India had very extensive links with the Soviet Union and with the Russian Federation, and it's a force which is not perceived, and is a global force now, and it's a country which is not perceived as an enemy of Russia, and therefore it's easier for a friend to tell another friend that maybe he's doing something wrong. And Mr. Modi already has done so, to my knowledge, when Mr. Putin started saying that I'm going to use tactical nuclear weapon on the territory of Ukraine, and Mr. Modi communicated to Mr. Putin that this kind of talk is not responsible and should not be used. India has always obeyed international law and believes in the UN Charter. And it's a model democracy, and it's certainly not going to go in another direction. So yes, there is a big role for India to play.
Well, thank you so much, sir, for speaking to WION.
Thank you very much.
It was a pleasure speaking to you, sir.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.